Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. What about the 2020 gold Libertads? Vamos al explorar! Yes, indeed, the Libertads, the silver ones, are making their way to bullion dealers out there and creating quite the buzz, for sure, especially those 2-ounces. And, we have an idea of why they were delayed so long, but typically, one thing to keep in mind here is that usually Libertads don't come out until later in the year already. But nonetheless, certainly the pandemic has had a pretty big effect, as you can imagine, on many aspects of the areas in commerce, but to the mint especially, and mints around the world, mining, and all sorts of operations. Pretty much almost every aspect of life has been touched by this pandemic. But Mexico has been hit especially hard. And we're going to take a look at this article here from Coin Week that talks about this, that was actually posted last month. And it gives us a little bit of idea about why these coins have been delayed. And sometimes studying a modern coin series can involve solving a mystery, but the mystery is actually not all that mysterious these days. But why the popular Mexican Libertad series of silver and gold coins only begun to see the release of its 2020 coins in late September. And that was only the coins sold within Mexico. In prior years, coins were sometimes delayed until the summer due to production issues or changes in the government, but to the best of the author's knowledge here, they've never been delayed as much as they were this year. Sales to foreign markets, including the United States, Europe, and Asia, through the Mexican Mint's network of distributors only began in late October to early November, when major foreign bullion dealers finally learned of their limited allocations of this year's Libertad coins, which will actually hit those markets around mid-December. And here we are, late December now, and we're starting to see these coins being distributed. Now, this does confirm and back up a lot of what I had learned from a very kind gentleman of the community who has ties and who actually lives close and has made his way into Mexico to get some of these silver Libertads. In 2020, all major world mints were confronted with challenges they had never dealt with before because of the COVID-19 pandemic. This is clearly a new era for all mints. Many had to shut down temporarily to institute new procedures to protect their employees and to thoroughly clean work areas. And many struggled to keep up with, let alone meet, rising demand for precious metal coins throughout the past year. Rising prices and demand for metals being yet further results of this severe economic dislocations caused by the pandemic, which, combined with low interest rates, make riskier assets like stocks and precious metals more attractive. So, looking at specifically Mexico and this pandemic with the Libertads, the Casa de Moneda in Mexico appears to have been impacted to a greater degree than the others. The main reason is simply that Mexico has been hit very hard by the coronavirus, and its numbers of confirmed cases about to surpass 1 million and deaths due to the virus of over 95,000. Keep in mind that the actual number of cases in Mexico is undoubtedly much higher because testing for the virus has lagged greatly there. On August the 1st, Mexico's death toll became the world's third highest at the time, at 46,688. Pat Stovall of Lois and Don Bailey and Son Numismatic Services, one of the Mint's U.S. distributors based in Houston, Texas, told the author that when he was in Mexico in the spring, he was struck by how severely the country was being impacted by the virus, noting that when he passed cemeteries, he saw many dead bodies waiting to be buried, and that most people were wearing masks and observed the COVID protocols like social distancing. And And that being the case, here are the actual mintages, and this is going to give us a clue as to why we're not seeing the gold ones right now. And we can see here the silver mintages were low. You heard me reference these numbers in a previous video. And you can see how low they are, although many of them are not record lows, but tying for the fourth in many cases there. But nonetheless, we usually do see lower mintages for these, quote, bullion coins. But nonetheless, we can see gold is quite low in the mintages as well. As for the mint, Pat said that around this time, it had to shut down completely, and that he believes some mint employees died as a result of the virus. While many others were sent home, it did not want to return to work due to the increased danger. In addition, production was slowed, with many employees working at home. And when it came time to ship the minted coins in the Banco de Mexico that oversees the mint for quality control inspection, it was just not possible to do that as effectively as in the past with fewer employees. And I'll make a note here that there are some, and I know from anecdotal studies from somebody I know that works at a hospital that says most of the hospitalizations that they've seen are for Hispanic folks. And I've also heard that it disproportionately affects black people as well more than others. So it's very interesting how this virus is affecting different racial classes of folks. Nonetheless, here it says that, as discussed, the year's Libertads include some very low mintages. The gold proofs, which at 250 coins each, and no 5-coin sets issued this year. So this is going to be something unusual. There will be no 5-coin proof sets of gold coins this year. And they will be tied as the key date, lowest mintage coins of this type with the 2014 gold proofs. There are also several other coins, especially some of the silver issues, that will be some of the lowest that almost 4 decades of the coins have been made. 1981 for the gold and 1982 for the silver. Currently, a proof 70 graded set of the 2014 5-coin gold proofs runs between $15,000 to $17,000. As to why there are so many low mintages this year, the delays in production and quality control were likely key factors, coupled with the fact that the bank allows pre-sales to employees. Pat said he thinks it is likely there are more of those sales this year, which makes perfect sense to honor this year and they knowing that these are going to be very low mintage, and so they want to be able to have something as an investment and for this year. And so my guess is that is probably why. He added that some of the have speculated another reason for the delays and low mintage is that more of this year's coins may have remained in Mexico. I have pretty much confirmed much of that from my source as well earlier in the year. While he is not certain, Pat does not think a larger than usual number of coins were reserved for domestic sales. The problem is no one outside the bank has any idea how many coins are sent to each major market. But there have been reports in recent years that more coins remain in Mexico due to the growing market for Libertads there. The low 2020 mintages were essentially due to the sales windows being much shorter than usual. Plus, there are only a few weeks to distribute the coins before preparing for 2021 releases. And here we are getting to the very end of 2020 in December. There are just not enough coins to meet the demand, says Pat. And that is, in a nutshell, why prices have been rising for the 2020 coins. Keep in mind that mintages for Libertads, which were just made available by the bank through Pat on November the 9th, are never released until sales of the coins by the Mexican mint distributors have all been allocated. Even many of the dealers do not know these figures, and they don't know when or if they're going to get the gold coins either. I've checked on that too. One of the most notable low mintages this year is a 1-ounce brilliant uncirculated silver coin, the most widely collected size of the Libertad because many people are building complete sets with them. Many are sold after being graded since, like other major bullion coins, they almost all grade 69 or 70, unlike in the past. At $300,000, the 2020 coin has the same mintage as a 2018, which currently sells for at least $40 raw, at 15 to 16 premium over its silver value. The 2018 coin was originally available for about $18. The 2019 issue with a 402,000 mintage made sales for about the same price, and both have become difficult to obtain, with most dealers long since having sold out. Pre-sales of the 2020 1-ounce piece began in the U.S. market last week at several major dealers, and in each case is sold out with a very short period of going on sale, in some instances within the hour. No one knows how many of the 300,000 mintage will reach American stores, but given Mexican sales and those of Europe and Asia, it's not likely to be much more than about 100,000 or so. In months leading up to the start of foreign sales, eBay pre-sales were for the $45 range, but recent sales at the U.S. bullion dealers were in the $30 to $35 range, which, when combined with the mintage, explains why there's such a hot commodity and disappeared so quickly. Buyers knew those were good deals. As of this being written, several foreign companies have offered the coin for about $40 each, but an eBay offers include $60 for 1-ounce coins and $1,500 for a roll with delivery in late December or early January. And completed sales in November for coins in hand, which have been obtained in Mexico, were $69 to $100. It remains to be seen if $60 and over holds. But even if it doesn't, something in the range of $50 seems quite possible in the future. The value is dependent on whether or not other years with mintages as low as 300,000. And so a 2020 coin of this size is tied for the fourth lowest in the series. And the three lowest are 1998, 1999, and 2007. While all the sizes of the 2020 Libertads are selling for higher prices than usual, ones to look out for include the half-ounce silver BU coin, which I did okay there. I got 2 of them. Probably should have got more, but hindsight is, you know what they say about hindsight. It's this year. It's the fourth lowest of the series after the 2007, 98, and 99. The quarter ounce, which is the second lowest after 2007. The 10th ounce, which is the third lowest after 2012 and 07. And the 20th of an ounce, which is the second lowest after 2007. The remaining coins mostly have similar mintages to those of recent years, though the 1-ounce gold BU is 5th lowest at 1,100. And they didn't talk about the 2-ounce here, which is kind of surprising. And with mintages of 700 each for the other gold BU coins, expect a race to obtain those coins. The same likely will be the case for the gold reverse proofs, which will remain at 500 each for the 1.5-ounce pieces, and like last year. So, you know, it's going to be definitely a race for these if they're distributed in time, considering that now the coronavirus pandemic is starting to picking up steam, and likely so the case is in Mexico too. And who knows when they're going to be released? Will they be released by the end of the year? Will we be able to see them at all? Will they all remain in country? Not been released by now. Will they come out in early 2021? My guess is so, but it'll be very limited quantities is my guess. And there'll be very high premiums on them. If others are not among the very lowest of this long-standing series, the mintages are extremely low in comparison to those coins from other mints. Even more so than in several recent years, even the series ran into delays in production issues. 2020 has been an unusual issue for the Libertad series because of the pandemic's impact on coin production in Mexico. And once again, the series presents buyers and collectors with some excellent opportunities to obtain coins with a great potential for price appreciation, provided that you're able to obtain them at bullion-related prices. And that's just it. Pretty much that's not going to be the case when the golds come out. And we know it's not going to be the case for the 2-ouncers. The 2-ouncers have been made available at SD Bullion and JM Bullion, I believe, from comments on my videos. But again, at well over $110 a pop. And I think that's probably, we're past the point of being able to flip these for any potential profit. Essentially, it's for those who just want to be able to get them to add to their collections. And for me, I have a full run of these coins in 2015. So I'm probably not going to stress too much about trying to get all the different sizes for this year. Although it would have been nice I probably should have done it when they were made available for a lower premium for Monument Metals. So to cap this off, in 2021 and 2022, when the gold and silver Libertads mark their respective 40th anniversaries, or just around the corner, there's a good chance the Mexican Mint will come up with something special for that. And you know they're going to be hot. So there you have it. Post your thoughts in the comment section below. So the gold Libertads are going to be a wait and see, and we'll find out what happens. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch this video, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.